So I've turned professional. What does that mean? How did I do it? And what is the plan from here? What do I need to do in order to make sure that my performance is at the top of my game? Well, in this video I'm going to delve right into all of these things. So make sure you stay tuned. This is Nick Does Golf. Hey golfers, what's happening, and welcome back to Nick Does Golf, my YouTube channel which is designed to help you improve your golf game. So if you've seen in a recent post on my Instagram, I announced that I have turned professional and changed my status from amateur to professional. But there are a couple of routes that you can go down in order to turn professional, but it's not actually that clear in the route that I took, so I'm going to talk about that for a little bit, and I'm also going to go through the plan from here on, and also the things that I'm going to be doing in order to make sure that I can get my performance to its peak. So as the majority of people know, there is your PGA route which you can go down if you want to become a teaching professional or you want to be a club manager. There are lots of different roles within the PGA sort of degree course that you can take. You can do that at the Birmingham University or you can do it online, but I didn't want to do this because I looked at this when I was choosing my universities, and I didn't really want to go down that route, so I went off and did something else, more sport related as a whole rather than just one specific sport, because I thought that would give me more opportunities, and it has done. But with the world going mad, I thought there is no point in holding back, regretting anything that I'm doing, so I'm going to turn professional and give it a go. So what I had to do was break the amateur code. I entered an event, put myself down as a professional, and as soon as I hit my first tee shot, because I opted to accept the cash at the end of the day if I was to win, my first tee shot meant that I was turning professional, and from there on then I was a professional golfer. Pretty cool, right? But if you look in the rule book, it's not actually that clear, so if you are thinking about turning professional and you want to give it a go because you might regret it, this is the best way for you to do it. So you need to almost break the amateur code. So in the recent question and answer video that I did last week, I got asked about a question, what my future plans were. Now at that moment in time I wasn't a professional, I was still an amateur, but because I played in that event I am now a professional golfer. So I'm going to be looking forward at plans over the winter, heading into the spring, ready to have a really good season and a good go at it. So in terms of planning and organisation, it's looking at certain things such as specific events that I want to play in, when I'm going to fit my training schedules in, what sort of things I'm going to be doing in terms of making sure that I can still deliver content out to you guys, but also give myself the best chance that I can to perform at the highest level. So what I think I'm going to do heading into the winter months is look at specific tournaments that are going to be played throughout the winter, such as pro-ams, individual pro events, but they're not that high in sort of level. Not many people know about it, because I think it's a good way to sort of ingrain myself into the professional scene, because setting your standards too high is not a bad thing, but it might detract from your actual motivation, because if you aren't getting the results within the first couple of months, especially if you're quite hard on yourself, this might actually deter you from taking it any further, and I don't want to be like that, because I've seen a lot of players and friends that have done this and now they no longer play golf, which I don't want to happen. So pinpointing the events that I want to play in is key, and focusing my training around that in order to make sure that the peak of my performance is right up there, because obviously I want to win, right? But what exactly am I going to be doing in order to get my performance to the next level? Well, there's a lot of things that go into this performance. You can see it from all the tour players, all the mini tour golfers. There's a hell of a lot of things that go into it, and you'd be surprised. So the first one really is going to be working on my technique over the winter time, making sure that any changes are going to be implemented and ingrained, so I don't really have to think about it going into the spring, because you want to make sure that you can iron out all the things, all the changes throughout the winter months, ready to peak in the spring, the summer, when the main events are coming thick and fast. it's a given really. So it's the external factors that go alongside that that are the important things. So strength and conditioning, luckily I have a lot of knowledge in that because that is what I'm currently doing at the moment, so I should know a lot about the things that I'm trying to work on, where I need to improve on. So definitely flexibility, and just generally making sure that my fitness is up to scratch and to where it needs to be, because stamina is important. Even though it's a golf course, stamina is very important, because if you're playing 4 rounds for that week, for example, you need stamina because it does take its toll. Also, you've got your strength. I need to make sure that I'm getting strong in the places that I need to be. The major muscle groups are really important. They are the engine room for your golf swing, so that is exactly what I'm going to be heading towards, working towards and improving. Nutrition is obviously important, making sure that you're taking on the right fuels, also the right amount. People get it wrong all the time. Making sure that your calorie intake is the best that it can be to make sure that you are getting the results that you want to in order to improve. It's as simple as that. If your calorie intake is too low, you've got no energy in order to complete the task that you want to do. So you need to make sure that you can find your maintenance allowance, and if you want to obviously get a little bit stronger, put a little bit of weight on, obviously in the right places, you need to make sure that you're slightly above that. And also if you want to drop weight, for example, you need to make sure that you're slightly below that, but making sure that you make the right choices. Also making sure that you don't miss out on the foods that you like. Make sure you factor these into your calories, for example. This is very important because you don't want to be miserable, right? So making sure I'm taking on the right amount of protein, carbs, fats, fibre, everything that I need to do, making sure my vitamins are up to a decent standard, so it enables me to give my body the best chance at hitting that peak at the right time, ready for those events. Another thing that I'll be checking on is my lifestyle and making sure that it is balanced. The amount of times you see people, even though they've got a full-time job, all they think about is work, 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 stress, stress, stress. No, give yourself a chance to have time for yourself, because if you don't, you're going to be leading a very miserable life, and you don't want that. You want to enjoy it because it's very short, so make sure you use your time wisely. So for me, this means that I'm making sure that I do enough practice, enough playing, also making sure I'm spending enough time in the gym, also making sure that I relax and rest when I need to. This is pivotal because rest days are just as important as beating balls away on the driving range, on the course. It's very important. So these are the things that my life is going to be encompassed by. So I've got my technique, my strength and fitness, my nutrition and my lifestyle. Obviously I've got work thrown in there. That's sort of a subheading to lifestyle because I need to balance that as best I can. But I need to make sure that I divide my time effectively and in the right areas to make sure that it gives me the overall success that I'm looking for. But if you have any other things that you may think that I need to consider, make sure you drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you and just to interact with you so that we can have a good discussion on the way forward for myself. Golfers, if you've liked that video, hit the like button for me, I'd really appreciate that. Also make sure that you check out all the other videos on my channel and hit the subscribe button for me to support me on my golfing journey, as well as delivering the right content out there for you guys to improve your golf games. Along with that, make sure you check out my social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter and TikTok so you can keep up to date with everything that I'm doing on a daily and a weekly basis. This is @NickDoesGolf. I really hope that you've enjoyed that video and you found it really insightful for what it's like to be a professional that has just changed their status. Thanks very much for watching guys, and see you all very soon.